brothers on the team, yeah, we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, yo, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. To educate new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If it ain't about to change, mind your business.
Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it.
Episode has been sponsored by Crocker Funeral Home Incorporated, a new tradition of quality. 900 East Washington Street, Suffolk, VA 23434, a full-service funeral home. Contact them today for all of your professional needs. 757-539-7443 is the way to go. Crocker Funeral Home. Synopsis of your life. Is there anything that you actually regret?
I mean, I don't like to use the word regrets because if I regretted something, then that would mean that the effect of it didn't help me in a positive way. And I feel like everything that has ever happened to me, it might didn't look good at the time, or it might not have looked positive at that time. But when I sit back and look at it, I knew it was a blessing. So if I do say I had regrets, it's the fact that my niece was present when all of this happened and she saw that. And because I know that really kind of shook her. Like I was like her superhero. Like it's nobody bigger than her auntie Sakeya, you know. So to see me being taken out in handcuffs and things like that, I would, if I had to change anything, it would definitely be that. But like I said, the time that I was there, you know, I would have preferred not to be, but I don't regret it because it's now put me on a path that I never would have been on. Like I had already always been successful, like in my career. Like I said, I worked with people that I used to hang pictures of them on my wall, but now I have a purpose, you know? So when you add a successful, hardworking person and get them a platform or get them a testimony or give them, you know, a story, it's like, you can't stop me.
Yeah. So now when you were sentenced, right, being that you worked with a plethora of people, right, did any of them reach out to you, or did they reach out to you? 1, 2, do they work with you? Is it an issue working with you today?
Well, a lot of people wrote letters and stuff because your lawyer is always like, you know, bring character letters, references and things like that. So a lot of people, you know, supported me in that avenue. But nah, half of them been locked up, or they know somebody that's been locked up. I mean, I worked in the hip hop industry, like this is what, you know, what happens. And so it hasn't been looked down upon. If anything, it was like, oh, you certified, now you stamped, you good money, like you done went through and you came out on the other side and now you going crazy. And then, you know, and like I said, that's just how I choose to look at it. Now it was somewhere there that you can tell this is going to have a lasting negative effect on them because that's what they choose to focus on. You know, I just don't choose to do that. Like every situation is a 50-50 chance that it go good or it go bad. I'm always gonna err on the side that it's gonna go good. But it's some people that always err on the side that it's gonna go bad.
That's absolutely true.
That type of energy and you put that out, that's what you get. Like things just working in my favor because I expect it. You know, I expect things to happen to me. And I always tell people, you got to be prepared for the stuff that you pray for. You can't pray and then be worried if it's going to happen. Once I pray about it, I'm done. Like
you definitely have to let it go.
I'm on the next thing. And then 6 months later, I'm living in a prayer that I had 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So that's just how I used to look at things and just live my life.
That's good that you are that way, because a lot of us aren't that way. You know, like we pray and worry, and it's like you can't do both.
I do that sometimes. I find myself doing that sometimes. Pray and worry. Then I have to say, what did you just pray about? Why are you worrying?
Yeah.
But I find myself doing that sometimes.
I remember my first flight that I took once I got off probation. I flew to Atlanta and I was coming back, and I'm on the flight. As soon as we take off, I mean, the plane probably is still like this. It's a boom. You hear the boom. Plane starts shaking. We keep going, you know. So probably I'm watching like Monday Night Football or something on the TV on the plane. And probably about 5 minutes into the flight, I realized that we're not ascending. You know, I've been on enough flights to know I can tell you when the light gonna bling. I can tell you when we done reached 10,000 miles. I mean 10,000 feet. I've just been on so many planes, so I noticed. So next thing I know, I hear one of the passengers scream fire, like fire. So I look at the window, and the whole side of the plane is on fire. The engine blew out of the plane. So people are freaking out. Okay. So
I would have been the one.
I called one of my homegirls on FaceTime. That's how low we were still to the ground. Like I could still get stuck. So I called her on FaceTime. I tell her what's going on. I said, I'm on a plane. We got a little mechanical issues, but I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to set the phone down. So one of the flight attendants asked me, was I a first responder? And I was like, no. And she was like, I need you to help me because like, you're so calm. I need you to help me calm. Because people are screaming like, I don't want to die. Like, it's crazy. And, you know, I'm just sitting there watching the game because I done already prayed about it. At the end of the day, I can't fly a plane, you know? So I done already told God, like, look, this ain't it for me. You got way bigger things for me. And then after I said that, I just sat back in my seat. So now the flight attendant asked me to help her. So it was a lady in front of me and she's freaking out, like hyperventilating, like, I can't die. I don't want to die. I can't die. Like she's like really going through it. So I kind of went around in the seat and I'm like, look, ma'am, you're not going to die. Okay. I'm on this plane and I'm not going to die. So we're good, but I just need to calm down, you know? And that was like one time where I can really pinpoint that I really just prayed about it and just let it go. And the ordeal lasted for about 15-20 minutes before they was able to get us back on the ground. We did an emergency landing. Like the people getting off the plane, they all distraught and all this. And I go kind of like, yo, when the next flight? I got to get home. Like, because what's the likelihood that that's gonna happen to me again? You know?
And if he took you through those 20 months, 26 months, whatever, he definitely won't carry you out like that.
Like I can't go out like this. So, you know, that's what I mean when I say like, you know, because people always be like, Sakeya, you so strong and you so this. And it's like, I might be, I don't know. I just feed my mind. I force myself to just look at things differently. I don't want to be a pessimistic person. I don't want to be a person that's always just negative and just assuming the worst and thinking the worst. Like, I feel like I'm a good person. I feel like in my heart, I have a good heart. I'm a good person. So if I'm a good person, why wouldn't good things happen to me? Good things are supposed to happen to me. But just because good things are supposed to happen to me, that don't mean bad things ain't gonna happen to me either.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so you gotta take the good with the bad. All you gotta do is win one more time than you lose to be considered a winner. So that's just what it is.
That's a good point.
So good point. What are you doing now? I know you're in your 5-year plan, but what are you currently doing? Like,
I'm doing everything. Work? I'm doing everything. No, so So I got some things for y'all.
Okay.
So this is my latest book.
Okay.
So
My
it has
girl.
not for resale on it because this is the markup that they sent me.
Okay.
But this is my book. It's called Fly Girl Quotes.
Okay.
So it's inspirational,
Okay.
self-help, self-love type journal thing.
Okay.
And the crazy thing about this is I wrote this while I was locked up. So
really?
we got
What's
locked
like?
down for COVID while I
Mhm.
was there, right? And
Mhm.
so the morale was really down. We were on lockdown inside of the prison. And
Mhm.
so we couldn't really talk to our families the way that we needed to. All we saw was people on TV killing each other for toilet paper. And we was like,
Yeah.
well, what the hell is going on outside? You know,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
y'all tripping. So
Yeah.
what I did is like I started writing these little sticky notes.
Mhm.
And actually I got them upstairs. I don't know why I didn't bring them down, but I have I started writing these sticky notes, just quotes, just to kind of get people through the day. And I started hanging them up outside of my cube, and they just became a thing. Like all my girls that were in my dorm, they would come by and read them. The guards would come down and read them. Like everybody, it just became a thing, right?
Mhm.
So I kept them. I kept all of them from the day I started to the day that I got out. And so I just turned them into like a journal. So that's what I'm saying. Like, had I not been in that situation, this would have never come about.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make $1 billion off this. So you
I
really
know
think
that's right.
that I care about sitting somewhere for 20 months? I don't, because it birthed this, you
That's
know.
right.
So that's my thing. Like I said, I'm the editor of a magazine. This is my hold up. No, my aunt is like crawling on the floor so she don't be.
Get in the shot.
You turn around and you look, you just started laughing. I'm like, what you laughing at?
I'm like, what the hell is that? So this is so what she did.
Yes.
Thank
Wait a
you.
minute. I'm looking at. I'm just now seeing what's on your hat.
Oh, my flowers.
Yes, that is so cute. Did you make that?
No, actually, I sell it. This is from my brand, Fly Girl Approved. So I'll send you guys the link.
Okay.
So she was actually going to get this for me. So this is my book that I brought home from prison. It's so messed up. So these are all the sticky notes.
Oh.
Okay.
So
yeah.
like this is the last one because I was released on August the 18th. So this one is listed August the 17th, 2020, and it says end of the road. And then I always hashtag the Fly Girl quote. So I have every single one, like tons and tons of them. So I kept those, and like I said, I turned it into my book. And then also I'm the editor for a magazine. So this is the magazine. It's called Street Elements Magazine. And this is actually Jonathan, the guy whose podcast you saw me on.
Okay.
So a large demographic of our readers are people behind the wall, because you know, out here and we have technology and things like that. The days of actually reading a magazine and things like that, we get information so fast and so quick. We don't really do that, right?
Right.
My thing is that people think that the magazine genre is dead, and it's really not. It's just the urban magazine genre is dead, you know. So we're looking to do that. So I just came on as the editor. So I got 2 issues out that I've done. So this was my first one that I did. This one came out over the summer. We print quarterly. So this was the first one. So my goal with the magazine is to highlight people that have went through the system and came out the other side, and they're doing like amazing things. Like
that's
this
good.
gentleman, his name is Bobby Fishscale. He's an artist. He's from Quincy, Florida, and he's actually signed to Rock Nation. And he's a returning citizen. He did time in state prison. So my goal is to highlight people that are doing things. And then you guys know Jonathan. He has the podcast, Finessers Only Club. He has one of the hottest, fastest growing podcasts out, right now. So aside from like highlighting people that have done, went through the system, got in trouble, now they're on the other side of it, we also give information in the magazine, re-entry tips, programs that people
resources,
release, law tips and things that are going on in legislation and things like that. Then we also have like it's street elements and fantasy in one. So the fantasy side, you're gonna have the girls and the cars and things like that. So we tried to collectively put something together that readers can really just kind of be entertained and learn something in the process. And like I said, I'm using my platform to highlight people that are on the other side of things. And then aside from that, I have my STEM program that I developed, and actually my aunt, she has a nonprofit called STEM Exposure, and her goal is to expose underprivileged kids to STEM careers in architectural design and construction, which is her background. So she came to me when I first got home, like, Sakeya, you need to do this for the beauty and fashion industry. And I just was like, girl, I don't know nothing about science, technology, or mathematics. You know what I mean? So she was just on me. And so I was like, well, let me, start looking into this. And then I started researching. I started doing my due diligence, and I found out how intertwined STEM is in the beauty space. And so I developed the curriculum. And this past August, I hosted my first summer camp. So I had 25.
Congratulations.
Girls, thank you. So I had 25 African-American girls. I had them for a week at the Glacier Children's Museum, which is located here in downtown Tampa. And so every day they focused on a different product in the beauty industry. So we focused on hair, skin, makeup, and body. And then I had a business day for them where I had someone come in and teach them about the business of beauty. So every day they had a guest speaker come in, and whatever product we were talking about that day, they did demos. They were able to make lip gloss. They made body scrubs. They made body lotion. They made hair oil. Like, they just had a blast. And I had Neiman Marcus of Tampa. I had Chanel. I had AT&T. I had all these amazing sponsors that, just really got behind the program and really helped me be successful in that. So I'm looking to extend that moving forward. I'll be hosting another camp this summer in Tampa. And I've been getting calls from like so many people from across the country, like wanting me program with the Deltas, aka and me, other different nonprofit groups that works with girls, are interested in the program. So that was something that I never could have even fathomed, but for me to be able to do it my first time and get the type of response and the type of support that I got was just, it was insane.
Yeah, you're in the lane you're in the lane that you're supposed to be in.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's dope right there. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes.
I wouldn't have never. I'm like you when you said your aunt first said something to you about it. You was like, what?
Yeah.
That's when you was talking. I'm like, what? But
yeah. But when I started researching it, I'm like, okay, I'm learning about botanists. I'm learning, and botanists, they study plants and flowers and stuff. So the global ambassador for Chanel skincare came in and did a presentation for the girls and talked to them about this new skincare line that Chanel was doing called Sublimage. And so they did a presentation, they showed a video. The key ingredient in that formulation came from a plant that's found in Madagascar, right? And so they show all of these Black women that they had educated and trained to cultivate this plant. Like instead of Chanel just going to Madagascar, like we just gonna buy the block, like we're gonna buy sources and get what we need from y'all, and then we gone. They built schools. They taught these people how to cultivate this plant, and they employed them. You know, so I learned about botanists. I learned about estheticians. I learned about chemists. I learned about engineers, because they're the people that are developing these products. I had a scientist come in. Her name is Najee Brown. She came in. She develops beauty products, and she's a chemist. So it was like, wow, like these jobs or these careers really do exist. So it's like, when you think of the beauty industry, you think about superficial aesthetics. You know, you have to be this tall, you have to be this shape, you have to have this bones, you have to have these lips. But every woman does not fit that mold, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, but there's still a place for you in the beauty industry. You can still work in that industry where it's not aesthetically driven. And if we being all the way real, those is the people making all the money.
Yeah,
Not the people
they are.
camera. It's the people in the back camera.
That's
You
true.
only look 25 for a couple of years. You know what I mean? You can be a chemist or engineer for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
You know, so I wanted to expose them to that side of it, because we all know the influencer side, the makeup artist side, the lashes, the this, the that. We see that every day. But what about the people that's really, you know, creating this stuff, the disruption? You know, so that's what I wanted to focus on, and just let girls know, like, hey, there is a place for you in this space. So
Okay. Yeah. That sounds real interesting.
It does. It does.
So therefore, that was the beginning. So I know next year your girls, you probably have a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in talks with Neiman's now to develop a science of fashion program, which is right in my wheelhouse, because fashion is becoming like more sustainable, and that's a big thing now. They're getting away from fast fashion. You know, more technology is being put into the designs, and different textures and textiles and things used in the fashion industry. So you know, just to have a brand like Neiman's like really get behind me, you know, and I'm unapologetic about who my target is. You know, I'm very pro Black, pro us, you know, like this for us.
Yes.
You know, and respectfully. But you know, so to see that they actually featured us in their company's newsletter that they sent out to all the employees and all the executives. We actually just had a field trip where I took the girls to the actual store, and they were able to visit different areas of the store. They visited the cosmetic counters, and they learned about brands and things like that. They spoke to the people in the alterations department, where they learned about how to construct a garment and the things that are used to construct the garment. Neiman's has this laser that they can customize. Like if you purchase something in the store and you want it diagram, and it was like this new technology of a laser that actually uses light to engrave something as opposed to cutting it. So they were able to, you know, see that and engrave things from that. So it was just an all around, just great experience. And just having 25 Black girls walk through one of the most luxurious brands in the world, you know, the customer, it was like, well, who are they? You know, and it's like, we here, we fly girl approved. So so, and you know, I'm just big on representation. I'm big on inclusion. You know, I wanted them to understand like you belong here.
That's
you know,
right.
a luxury lifestyle is available to anybody that's willing
It's
to work.
obtainable. That's right.
Exactly.
It is not,
luxury.
yes,
Yeah.
it is not really exclusive. It's not just for them. It's for
Yeah.
anybody. You know,
Exactly.
one of them
Definitely.
that. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's
So you
good. So
actually
you-
doing it.
yeah.
She actually doing it. You know
Pay
what?
full.
Right. Pay it forward.
But you
Like,
know what? She named at least about 4 different things, but I didn't hear you say anything about if you were still doing styling.
Well, so I do it about this. I just did a really big project about a month and a half ago. And I don't know how I forgot about this, but I also I do, like, I have my Fly Girl approved brand, and then I also do like consulting for other designers and brands and things like that. So about 2 months ago, I did a big photo shoot in New York at Pier 59 Studios. And like the backstory to that is that when I was in New York at 23 years old, when I was going to FIT, we went on a field trip to Chelsea Piers, where Pier 59 is located. And the tour guide told us about all the amazing projects that are shot at Pier 59. Like, this is where they shoot Versace ads and Gucci ads and Vogue covers, all these amazing creatives, work out space. So I was exposed to that at 23 years old. So I actually was in New York on my birthday. I did the photo shoot the day after my birthday, after I turned 43. So it took me 20 years to come back full circle to this same location that I had been told about 20 years prior. And I was able to work with a Black designer. His name is Isaac. I was able to work with a Black designer. I was able to work with a brand that I worked with hands-on, as far as helping scale and build. So it was really like a full circle moment for me to be able to do that.
Oh,
yeah. And that's nobody but God.
yeah.
Like, that's nobody but God orchestrated that whole thing, and that's no cap. Like,
For sure. He
for
quarterbacked
real.
the whole play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
You know, I'm just sitting here, I'm just thinking, like, had you not had a strong mind and built the way that you are, you couldn't have survived half of this. Like, the average person couldn't have. So I truly believe that he gives certain people certain things. Because it was all a test.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely passed the test with flying colors. Not saying that every day was,
Right.
a rosy day, but you made it do what it do.
Yeah.
And now you're reaping the rewards of of your harvest. That's
And like,
what it is.
year 2.
Huh?
I'm just on year 2.
You're on year 2, right? So you got 3 more years to go.
3 more years.
And then the whole thing about that is, even though you have a 5-year plan, I'm sure at times you're gonna add to.
For
So
sure.
you're gonna keep keep flourishing
This
and doing.
this STEM thing,
Mhm.
this was so far to the left, but when it's all said and done, that's going to be my legacy.
Yeah.
That's going to be what I'm remembered for, because it's going to impact and touch so many people. So like you said, throughout my journey, I'm going to drop some things like, oh, I thought I might have wanted to do that, but that don't really work. My time is better spent doing this. And that's one thing that I can tell people. Like, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Don't be afraid. Hey, if it ain't working, it ain't working. Like, I'm at a space right now where things are literally falling into my lap. And when you can do things effortlessly, and when things work out for you in a way that you could not have imagined, that's when you know you're on the right path. Nurture that. You know what I mean? But everything you trying to do is met with opposition. Like, it's one thing, to go through trials, because like, this stuff isn't easy for me to do, but it's not hard either, you know? So
Okay.
I choose to focus on the things that come naturally to me and the things that are in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, and you can't be scared to get off something. Like if it ain't working, it ain't working.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that ain't it. That just ain't it. And that's with anything. That's with a job. That's with a career. That's with a relationship. That's with anything. Ain't it? It just ain't it.
It worked. Yeah.
And you can't make it be it. You know what
No,
I mean?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
5
Yeah.
years later, and it still ain't it.
And it.
Still ain't it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you gotta
still
realize
wanting
too though, like when you doing stuff like that and you know that it's not it, but you keep trying to make it fit, gotta, he'll do some drastic things to you because
Yeah.
he's showing you and he's allowing you to make these turns, but we tend to drag our feet a lot on certain things. So yeah, he'll definitely he'll
And I feel like that's what happened to me. Like he just redirected me. Like, hey, you going down the wrong path. You're involving yourself with people that you shouldn't, be involving yourself with. Like this, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna pop you on the hand and
Right.
steer the right way. And so
Mhm.
I just take it as that. And because I never questioned it, I never, was like, why me, God? Like, why are you doing this to me? I never looked at it like that. You know what I mean? Like, why not me? Like everybody that I read about, just like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I read my Bible. He didn't pick the perfect people to change the world. Everybody who's to make a change, like they had issues.
Imperfect people in imperfect world. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
had. So why not me? I'm the
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it, like I'm the perfect candidate for it. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Wow. So I have learned like so much, and I actually can listen to you talk all day because it's like
Yeah.
it's so you're
It's
relatable.
inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like she said, it's definitely inspiring because
Because I'm sitting here like this, like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, I do need to figure out, do I need to be redirecting or something? Yeah. It makes you think. And I like when I'm talking to someone, they talking about their story, but I'm feeling like you talking to me, like, is she really talking to me? Like, did I talk to her about something before we started? Like, what is she talking about? She must know something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You talking to me.
But that's God though.
Yeah.
That's God because like sometimes like we need that confirmation. He got to hit us over the head, like
yeah.
God dang it, girl, I done told you,
I
like
didn't showed you. I done told you. Let me
I
get
done
this
told
right
you,
here up here.
showed you.
yeah, because I'd be like, God, I need to hear your voice, like like on TV, Travail, do not like sometimes I need to hear that strong voice. I'd be like, oh shoot, that is him. Okay, I ain't got a question.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. You don't want to court. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have like and I think the reason, when I saw you in the podcast, I listen to the podcast like all day, every day, right? But I was so intrigued because you are so authentic. Like you know, like what you see is what you get. And so you have that type of personality or spirit about you where it's like, you can kind of tell that's what it is. And when people listen, you kind of capture people in the moment. They're gonna look and be like, okay, all right, what's she talking about? And then you actually had me sold. So I wanted to know more about you, and I wanted the people who look and listen to us to know more about you too, because your story is your story, but at the same time,
but a lot of that happens though.
It's not rare at all.
No, and that's what I think. I don't know how I came across your page. I don't remember how I came across your page, but I just know I came across your page and I stopped and I was looking. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw what you did. It was a snippet of an interview you did. So I was watching that, and then that made me just go through your page, and I just started going through her page. I think I was even liking stuff and comment and everything. I was like, oh my God, like she's dope. That's the first thing I was like, she's dope. And then I was like, well, when I was listening to the interview, I was like, man, a lot of people might not know that can really happen to them, because like you said, you knew what they was doing, but you didn't relate it to being something you was doing, and you didn't consider it your job or your position. This was just your man. He said, hey, introduce me to your homeboy. Oh, okay, homeboy, this is my man, this is my homeboy. But you didn't say, hey, y'all go out there and sell drugs together and do this and do that. You didn't say none of that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say, give me my cut, my finder's fee. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? You didn't say none of that, but a lot. Huh?
I need my commission.
Right. You didn't say give me none of that, but a lot of ladies find themselves talking to their boyfriend, might be out in the streets doing whatever. You know they're out in the streets doing whatever, but you don't put yourself in the middle of that. So that can happen.
Yes, it's hey babe, hey, you know that money that I got upstairs in the go get that money out, and then somebody gonna pull up and then you give it to them. That's you in a conspiracy.
Right. And the whole time you thinking like, oh, maybe it's a distant cousin or so. Oh, let me just go. Hold up for a minute, girl. I'm on the phone. Hold up for a minute, girl. Let me go get this for such and such, because such and such trying to pull up, and let me take this. You're not even thinking nothing like, oh, let me go run this thing. Now, if you in it and you like, oh, let me go do this for my man, I got to go run this. Now, that's something different. But when you got your own thing going on and you're successful in your own thing, you're not really concerned about his thing and how he making his thing connect.
I'm not thinking about him. I'm not thinking about him. I ain't thinking about the dude. I ain't thinking about nothing. Like, it was so far away from my mind. So when the people came, I'm just like,
what happened?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, y'all tripping.
Yeah.
But that, you know, is very true. And there was a lot of girls in there with that same story.
Yeah.
And it's so believable because, you know, a lot of us been through that. A lot of females have been through that where you're not thinking about any of that. So when I was listening to you and I was like, wow, did she say she was charged with conspiracy? So in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, she said she didn't know, but did she really know? Like, how they charging her with that?
But listen,
because
and then that's when I looked,
right, and that's when I looked into it. And I'm like, so that can be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They can come back and say, well, you know her. They could have got everybody that was connected to you, where she was with him. So you was with her, so you knew what she was doing for him and what he was doing. Now we all sitting there looking crazy. Everybody's gonna ask me a question. I'd be like, I don't know. You do know.
I know them people. Like, I'm making a courtroom. Like, how are they my co-defendants? I don't know them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that's how. But that's how the feds work, and it's definitely it's kind of scary. It's very scary.
It's very scary.
Sure, you know, you're in a position, but you know, it's one of those things. Guilty by association. That's what it is. And if they want something, it depends on how bad they want that person.
Want you. We seeing it right now in real time.
Yeah,
what's going on with Thug? You seeing what?
Yeah.
They, like, there's no way these guys should be getting out with these slaps on the wrist for a RICO case, but they want Thug. That's who they want.
That's absolutely.
So
so you got a lot of people going free.
We're gonna snatch you up, shake you up a little bit,
get you scared.
And we gonna,
exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna carry him up. We're gonna carry him up and through there.
He's amazing.
He's gonna spend some of that money.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Sad. It's sad, but it's one of those things
too. Able to do that though.
Yeah, it's sad though, but at some point it's like we gotta change some of the things that we do, you know, because you know a lot of it we end up paying for it sooner or later. That's basically what it is. Like you can run, but you can't hide, especially from them because you've been going on with your life. You doing like Thug, like you doing something different now.
Yeah, and they talking about something you did in 2012.
Yeah,
it's 2023.
Absolutely.
I don't even know them people. I couldn't even. You know, it's just that's how it is.
Yeah,
how it is. It's, you know, it's like I say, your best bet is just stay out them people way. Don't even get caught up in that web, because once you do, they just, you know. But like you said, it's very prevalent in our community, especially with women. Like the amount of women that are being incarcerated for conspiracy is is crazy, you know, because a woman isn't built to withstand that type of pressure. You know what I mean? And fortunate for me, you know, I don't have kids. I couldn't imagine having to go through that with kids, leaving my kids, coming, you know, I couldn't imagine having to do that. I mean, it was girls that were pregnant where I was. I couldn't imagine being pregnant and locked up and deal with, you know, just the stress of being pregnant. On top of that, I'm in prison, you know, so but they doing it because they know that that's the easiest way to infiltrate. That's the easiest way to get to the guy is to get through the woman. So we just collateral damage.
Absolutely. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we come to the part of our interview where we ask our guests how their time has been since they've been on Wait Again a Minute. So we're gonna ask you the same thing. How has your time been?
I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. I was able to really just kind of flow with you guys. I know you had hit me up, you know, and then we had to reschedule.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, you guys followed up, you circled back, you know, we here. I enjoyed the conversation. I thought it was very easy. I thought you know, you guys allowed me to really tell my story to your audience. So I appreciate that and I thank you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely. I'm just like her. I was joking. I was cracking on her saying that, you know, she watched too much TV, but I never knew of any girls who went down, right? Unless they were directly involved and they got like a lot of time, right? Right. But, you know, being the girlfriend, whatever, you really not really in it, but you guilty by association. It's like, it's always a thing of people they would, you know, knowing you had nothing to do with it, right? But they'll curry you in there and they be like, well, if you don't tell us, we're going to charge you. So that's what I've always heard of. So for it to happen and actually be able to see someone, be able to relate, like, hey, that could have been me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it'll, you know, when somebody else see it or be able to talk to them about it with somebody else, they will be able to see like, hey, we probably need to leave that alone.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
Yeah, that ain't it. Or I'm be stating my facts the whole time. No, what? No, because I know when people get you, they have everything
laid out. Like they
for
don't
you.
need you to be
showing you
this time
pictures.
Right yeah. So you know,
phone records, pictures, all types of stuff. Yeah, they got their case. They airtight.
Yeah, and that's why their percentage is so high in convictions. Yeah. So you know, like I said, I just hope that when somebody do see and hear it, that it in, you know, they may look at it, they may think about, you know what I'm saying, like nah, versus just going head in and thinking that you untouchable because they bad. Ain't always like that. So
for sure.
With that being said, Ms. Goga, do you have any other?
No.
So how can people find you? Like, you know, who you want to shout out? Any social media handles? Like, give us the 411 on you.
Yeah, my personal social media is Sakeya the Great, SAKEYADA Great. I just recently launched my website, www.flygirlapproved.com. Yeah, so 2023 it's gonna be colossal. It's gonna be colossal. So I'm just super excited. Shout out to everybody that I work with, Street Elements, Isaac Moore, The Science of Beauty, Fly Girl Approved. I'm just happy about life right now. Life is good. Life is good.
And you look great.
Yeah, you do.
You smiling. Yeah.
I'm excited for you though. Like honestly, I really am. I'm excited for you because you know you
can't help but be excited. That big smile.
And you have your plan. And the thing is, you seem like an executor, right? So that's like me. I may procrastinate on some things. Like you, like no, I got to get this done. Yeah. Which I think too.
I that's something that I hope to get better in, and I'm working on every day. But you know, like I said, I just choose to look at the positive side. It's plenty times I'd be like, oh my God, like I don't want to do this. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do this. I don't want. Then I think about tomorrow. This is going to help me for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between successful people and mediocre people. It's like you do what you got to do even when you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And that's just like, we as a people, when we don't understand something, we do what we got to do, make sure we get it done. So that's the thing with that. So we're not going to hold you any longer. I know you're a busy young lady, and I'm glad that we were able to connect, and we're going to stay in contact, and
for sure,
just keep abreast, with each other, figure out what we got going on. And I'm excited. I really am excited.
Holidays to you ladies, and congratulations on your platform.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate it.
Lots of themes coming in 2023 for everybody.
Yes. I received that. I received that. And same thing with you. So with that being said, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.